What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Sandlot Gaming's Dungeons and Dragons. We are on season 2, episode 5-ish. 5, I want to say. We are running the Tomb of Annihilation module. We have previously run the Lost Mine of Phandelver, and we have made our way down to Chult now. And last episode was kind of the introduction part of that campaign. We found ourselves in the largest city of Chult. I forget the port's name, but I'm sure we'll go over that once we get signed in. Tonight we are missing 2 of our players. We are missing Squawk, our Aarakocra Bard, and we are missing Zygmundo, our Elven Wizard. He may show up at some point, but he's off wandering the city looking for powerful magical items. Squawk is flying around trying to figure out how to get back to his homeland, so he will not be joining us tonight. That said, we're still going to pick it up because we're going to keep powering through here and see where this module takes us. But let's jump into it and see what everybody's doing.
Luck points probably turn a failure into a success.
All right, boys, we're live.
All right.
Uh-oh. Wardrobe. Weren't we in a lobby when we left last week? What's with the wardrobes? This is bad news, man. Be like, you are chilling in the lobby. You were attacked by warriors. I'd be like, what?
So actually, so last week...
What is this, John Wick?
You guys arrived in Port Nianzar and met with Wakanga, right? Sindra took you to Wakanga's house. He asked you to go do an errand for him as a favor. You guys kind of did it. You walked all the way down to the lighthouse, handed off the shield via handsy to another one of what they called what was called a merchant prince. Handed off the shield, and then you're basically walking back from the races right now. Is where you are. So you didn't quite make it back to the lobby.
Okay. So basically, we did the most boring version. Troy, do you remember when we were down in at Nick's wedding and we were in the pool and Andy was trying to explain this game to me and Danny's like, I'll come in, and he was like the NPCs and his whole role was to be the guy that sold me pants.
Yes.
Be like, I have a pair of pants. It's like, I buy the pants. You are done. And I'm like, well, that's what I felt like last session. Well, I was just like, we missed opportunities left and right there.
Yeah, I really wanted to jump in that pit and fight for those prisoners, but
you would have been by yourself.
Yeah, I figured that, and I'd kind of hijacked the campaign the previous 3 weeks, so I didn't want to do that. And,
if those dinosaurs had been nasty, that would have been the end of Recno, and we would have been like, well, that's too bad.
Rip Recto. Maybe he'll be a healer on his next character.
He died stupidly in his first day in town.
All right, so you guys can see the map of Port Nianzara now.
Yeah, you rotated it.
I did. You know what? I noticed over the course of the last week that it didn't have north facing up, which I think is annoying.
Yeah, so the compass is actually rotated too, which is weird, but it is northwest, east, south, true now. So
yeah,
I like this version better actually because it looks more peninsular. And
if you actually look at if you open up the handout for what Chult looks like, now it actually aligns with the map of Chult.
Keep forgetting to check the handouts.
You're such a bad student.
I know.
Right, so Port Nianzara is there at the northern tip of, or kind of that's at the southern tip of the Bay of Chult on the northern side of.
Just the tip of the Chult.
The Chult.
So we're picking up Troy, I think we're picking up your music on...
yeah, let me turn the music down then.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that? Is that better?
I didn't notice.
I mean, I like the music, but I'm also hearing it over the stream.
Yeah, right. We don't want the feedback. Yeah, I'm just on my laptop here, so I don't have the full...
All good, yeah.
And let me know... So I have seen a few times my internet has dropped out, so if that happens again, just kind of
If your internet drops out, we'll tell you over Discord.
Been clear so far.
All right, great.
So, at this point, as much as I would like to do something else, I guess it makes the most sense to proceed back to Wakonga's house and let him know the shield got delivered with uneventfully.
Yeah, and you guys, do you guys kind of see where you are right now?
Yep.
The star.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Ping you in the kind of northwestern corner of Port Nine Zaro.
Just kind of west of that jetty with the bridge.
That's right.
Oh, okay. There it is. Ooh, that's tiny. I zoomed out, so that star
Yeah,
is
it's a big
super
city.
tiny now.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a big city.
So a couple other things that I changed besides obviously rotating the map is I've hidden some of the map, just so you guys don't have a map as characters yet. So I'm
That
only
makes
revealing
sense.
kind of what the
No,
characters
I have a map. Oh no, wait, that was of the other town. Sorry.
Yeah, and we have a map of Chult, but not of this city.
That's right.
Yeah, I had a map of the city we found Cinder in, which was quickly rendered and moved.
Do they have
Yeah,
ways here?
They do not have ways. No ways. No
Just ask
Ubers.
a dude. Yeah, it's like being in the early '90s all over again.
That's crazy. Exactly like the early 90s.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. That's
This is
how
what
I
it was
remember
like.
it. For you kids watching.
A couple other things I'm doing this time that's new to you guys is I know you guys I think have seen by accident a few times that I have these little numbered notes on my maps. But I'm actually, as you find things, I'm kind of going to give them to you on your map as well.
Okay.
So if you go down to the far southwest, that pit that we were just talking about, you can see that it's called Executioner's Run.
Where do I see that?
I just see a number 2.
Far
Number
south. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I have to do
I
this.
see a 2. I see a 1 just to the northeast of that.
There it is.
Okay. Prep.
Okay,
Yep, notice. Okay.
that's annoying, but
Beggars Palaces.
now I know how to do it. Okay.
How do we go?
There's a 5 and a 14.
2, 1, 5, 14. We clearly did not come through this city in the correct.
Well, it
order
depends
somehow.
on how they. No, it depends on how they number it too. Like they might number it based on
No, I don't really
how
care.
the city's
Yeah,
designed.
it's not actually how. That's right. It's not really like what the order that you're supposed to.
Not
thing.
terribly important to me. Anyway,
Okay, so you guys, and I think time to go back. I think that was what the general decision of the party at the end of last session was as well. So you guys are.
that's what we were
I
doing.
mean, I didn't want to go, but everybody else just sort of left.
Yep, and we're just gonna say Squawk is just flapping around near you guys,
nesting, rooting somewhere.
and Zig is kind of hanging out with you as well. So the whole party's together. Just a couple of them are going to be extra quiet, as is normal for when we're missing players.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Somebody just requested we start the Twitch stream, and I thought I
Oh,
did, and I did. Okay, so never mind. It's them that's dumb. So
Someone requested.
Someone
that?
requested that.
someone within our game
Oh,
Okay.
who plays a bird character.
Who gets Wi-Fi at 30 feet in the air?
Okay.
Right.
Tell him if he can watch it on Twitch, he can hop
yeah,
on.
he can hop in. If he's in a plane, that would be terrible. I roll initiative. That would be the worst person to sit next to. Nick, probably drunk on a plane, playing Dungeons
Squawking.
and Dragons on his phone would be the
Squawking.
worst possible
It'd be
person to
great.
sit next to on an airplane.
He's just grabbing people's drinks.
So as we're walking and talking, I'd like to kind of talk to Steve a little bit if I could. Are we like
Yeah.
all together? All right, cool.
I accept.
All right, Steve. Hey, man. I know you've got some talents of stealth and invisibility and all that ninja shit or whatever.
I don't think I can turn invisible, but I appreciate that you think.
Or
I can.
disguise or whatever you do. But I'd like to suggest maybe I don't fully trust.
Maybe
all
I'll
our
work
new...
on that. That
Oh.
sounds pretty great.
Yeah, you
actually.
should. Well, then I'd like to first suggest you work on that. Secondly, once you work on that, I'd like to suggest
Okay.
that maybe you use your skills of disguise or invisibility to learn a little more about our new friends, if you can think of a way to do that.
Okay, if you can think of a way to do that, please feel free to suggest it.
I'm thinking maybe disguise yourself around
Yeah.
our new friends
Well, as what? What do you want to know here? What's the end game?
as a I don't know. See what they're talking about when we're not there. I want to know what they're saying behind my back.
That's okay. That makes some sense, and it would be fun to try out a little bit of the new powers. I mean, as much as they come from a distasteful source. As long as I have them, might as well use them. So, sure, if we need to know something, I'll keep that in mind.
I know you've got that club in your bag, so I just don't want to leave that thing unused.
Hey, you and me both. I like all my clubs.
Also, Ween Ye, I don't know if you can do invisible shit, but same to you, buddy. Ween Ye being Roland Ween Ye.
No invisibility.
By the way, Steve thinks he means clubs like a big stick.
What else? What else would I mean?
I don't. I have no idea. That's how I took it.
Do you not have a bag full of clubs?
Well, some people did back in Neverwinter. The clubbers, we called them.
My hand is now my club. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if it was a sore point, maybe you shouldn't have used that metaphor.
Okay, I think we're done sorkening for now.
As you guys are walking along and having a deep and interesting conversation, a humanoid, but kind of flies overhead with broad wings, much like Squawk, but in this case, rather than feathers, scales, and it has golden reptilian scales along its wings and its head and its horn, but it has arms and legs like a man. And it lands on the second floor of this building to your northwest here, and goes inside. And kind of as that happens, a old haggard man who's clearly been drinking a little bit kind of walks up to you, and Steve kind of slaps you on the shoulder, and he said, "You see that? That's a half dragon. They're rare."
That's your impression of Steve?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the drunk guy talking to Steve.
I misunderstood.
I'm not going to speak for Steve.
No, I was just like, well, that's a terrible Steve impression, first of all. But no, I misunderstood.
Not nearly whiny enough.
An older drunken man talking to Steve.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I was wondering what that thing was. I don't suppose they let you ride him or anything, do they?
No, what? No. He's the...
You did cut out there.
Reaches into a...
You cut out quite a bit there.
We didn't hear anything he said that last
time. So he tells you that no, they don't let you ride them. And the guy's the size of a normal man, the figure that you saw. And he also, the old man tells you that that half dragon that flew by is the harbor master for the port.
Oh. And
so then he kind of holds up a finger and reaches into a big bag that he's carrying, and he pulls out some paper and some parchment, and he kind of shoves it and kind of points it and shows it to you, Roland. And you look at it, and what you can see is that it's illustrations of a half dragon. So it looks sort of similar to a dragonborn, which you guys have your characters have seen in other cities outside of Chult, but looks more draconic than a normal dragonborn.
More wings and tail.
Dragonborns are. But yeah, so this, wings and tail, right? So and then he kind of shoves it back in. He says, "I'm working on a new book."
I'd like to lean forward and ask him, so that guy's mom did it with a dragon? Am I to get that right?
Aren't you supposed to know about nature?
I didn't see that in the illustration, so I just,
And he kind of adjusts his glasses and squints one eye for a minute, and he goes, "Well, it might have been the other way around. I didn't think to ask."
Oh, yeah. That's a disturbing thought.
I just sort of looked puzzled at him.
The sheer logistics of that are mind-boggling.
Yeah, trying to figure that out.
By the way, sir, what is this building here? Where are you coming from? This looks like a happening place.
No, that's the that right there. That's the harbor master's office.
So why are you drunk there?
In charge of here.
I wasn't drunk then. I'm not drunk. First of all. Second of all.
That's rude, Recto. That's rude.
Second of all.
I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
Tavern. I'm going to the harbor master's office, not the other way around.
Oh, I thought you came from the building. That's my bad.
No. No, I want to. I have to interview Zengar. He's the half dragon. I need more information for my book. It's gonna be wonderful. So and he points at Roll and he says, "Your question, I'm gonna get the answer. So you look out for Volo's next book, and you buy it, and you'll get the answer to your question."
Tell me about the book you're working on.
Well, I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm here in Chult to learn more about the local wildlife and the creatures and rare creatures, and I document it. Here's my last book, and he reaches back into his book and pulls out a book and kind of turns it and flips around to you and shows it to all three of you. You can see it's called Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Nice.
How much for the book?
50 gold. You should buy my book. It's a bestseller.
How about 35?
Steve will buy the book. Steve is.
No,
I'm tripping over myself, like RPing. I'm tripping over myself about getting more knowledge in general about the stuff on the island, and feeling a little flush after some of my recent acquisitions here.
Omniprime suggests we buy the book.
All right, hey, Roland, go ahead and roll persuasion.
And that Steve offer him double the price.
Sorry, I didn't have my sheet open here.
Steve specifically wants it and is willing to give him $50 right now.
Okay.
I want it, and I want his autograph.
Sir, is there an audio version of this book, one that I can listen to maybe while I'm commuting to work?
And he kind of puts his finger to his bearded chin and thinks about it and says, "Well, that would be a great idea for me to release an enchanted sound version of a book. I could sell that for many more gold. But no, this one doesn't have sound."
Yeah. A monster guide wouldn't even translate very well to audio there. It's not compelling listening to have stats of monster.
And as he kind of flips it open, you can see that it doesn't have stats in it, right? It's drawings and prose about it. So it's obviously stats don't exist inside the game world.
Sure. Still not compelling listening.
So Roland, as you kind of, you're like, I think you said 35. He goes, 47, and that's a hell of a deal.
I'll do 47, but I want your autograph.
Okay. And Steve, I know that Chris, you said you wanted it, but I don't know if Steve did anything there.
Steve, I meant for him to offer 50, but I'll give it to Roland.
Somebody named Iron Pirate says to offer him an Eldritch Bolt.
All right, so the old man's eyes light up when you say that you'll buy it for 47 and an autograph, and says, "I love giving autographs. Yes." And kind of reaches in to his bag again, fishes around for a while, and goes, do you happen to have a quill?"
Do any of us have anything that writes? I have thieves' tools, but not.
Don't you have blood in your veins, Steve?
Don't you? I'm not
part of this. I want the audiobook.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm obviously not part of it either. Roland seems to want it, so.
So
what can I have him? I don't think I have anything I can.
So he says, "Look, I can't autograph it right this moment, but I'd be happy
Wait a
to
minute.
autograph it later."
Wait a minute. Aren't you going in for an interview? How do you plan to write down what you learn?
What you learn?
And he kind of stares at you.
It's an interview.
Stumbles to the side half a step.
In the harbor. Come on. People today aren't bringing pen and paper to an interview at the harbor.
What does he have, a tape recorder? iPhone? What are we talking here? I mean, he's writing things down, right?
Ruining this.
So he looks at you. I have many writing instruments. I will just borrow one from Zindar. He said, and he kind of motions to you, Roll, and says, "Well, just follow me into the Harbor's Master's office, and I'll use his thing to sign the thing, and you can have the thing."
That'd be great. Follow him in.
All right.
Talk to a harbor master. I don't even know what they do. They sound important, though.
All right. So you guys, I assume you're all going together.
Recto goes in wanting to learn more about the acquaintances they have earned in these previous cities, and not earned, but met, or whatever the terminology is, and also the dragon turtle.
Okay. So as you guys kind of walk towards the building, and you're about to walk inside, you notice that there's a large bulletin board outside of the harbor master's office that you see a number of different flyers and pamphlets, pieces of parchment advertising the services of guides for folks who are interested in undertaking an expedition. So as you go into the...
You guys like deep sea fishing?
For dragon turtles.
So as you go into the building, it's a very open air building. So it's not really not a lot of the kind of doors are all folding doors that have all been opened, kind of, and you can kind of see in many places straight through out into the bay. And there's a few folks coming and going, but it's not terribly busy. You see a couple clerks sitting at almost makeshift desks, or just kind of a couple planks over top of some barrels. And then there's a staircase going up to the second floor, and the old man kind of motions for you to follow him upstairs.
Follow him.
All right.
Let's go.
So you guys kind of follow him up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, you see that there's a few offices with some more clerks, and they have there's a few other kind of storage rooms that you walk past with kind of some barrels and some boxes with what looks like red tape, kind of, or kind of some sort of red cloth that seems to have almost been like soaked in tar and kind of stretched across the wood. And he kind of leads you further and further back, and finally you enter a relatively large office, and it's the first desk you've seen that's not a just entirely makeshift desk. And sitting behind it is the half dragon, the golden half dragon that you had seen fly over top of you. Let me can I give you a handout here?
That'd be great, because I was wondering what you meant by golden half dragon.
Damn.
He looks friendly.
Yeah, nice guy.
You know what? I'm not judging a book by its cover. I'm not that guy.
And there's that. So those are the two guys that are hanging out with you right now. And so the older gentleman kind of walks up to the desk. The dragon is already deeply embedded in some papers in front of him, kind of writing away. And kind of Vol staggers up and puts his arm down on the desk, and his hand slides a little bit and knocks a couple things over. And the half dragon looks up. It's just like you can see a little bit of steam coming out of his nostrils. Volo, what are you doing here? And Volo kind of looks at him and says, I had some more questions, but first, do you have something I can write with? And the dragon kind of just points him to another makeshift desk in the corner. Volo kind of walks over, grabs a quill, dips it in some ink, and scrawls Volo on the inside cover of the book, and hands it over to you, Roland.
Dude, I can't believe we're meeting Volo, the guy who wrote the book.
Right? Right here.
Right here.
God, why we do? Is there anything we want to ask this master? What is he?
Ask him who his mother is.
No, Volo said he'd take care of that for me. It won't be rude, you know.
So Zindar kind of hang the book over and says, "All right, Volo, you got your you got the thing signed. Just get out. I'm pretty busy. I don't have time for questions right now."
Hey, we're having Discord issues. Steve is currently not with us. Hang on.
Okay. Yep.
Hey, man, can you hear us?
I don't hear any healers yet, though.
Yeah, nothing.
Change your mic settings, maybe? Did it switch to something else? All right, sorry. This is bad. All right, let's move on.
Let's. It probably is the mic settings. Healers, if you go to your gear menu in the bottom left corner of Discord, where it says user settings, then go to voice and video. Make sure the input device is selected correctly.
If that doesn't work,
Hello?
you can always. There
Hello?
you go.
There he
Yep.
is.
Yep, there we go.
There it is. That worked. Thank you, Troy.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. Please.
No worries.
No, breaking the fourth wall there, buddy.
Well, okay. What? Me 1, you 6. So
The good news is Omniprime said he could hear us when we were trying to get you. So
excellent. So I caught the majority of the description there, and I'm on board with it. So let's go.
All right, so you guys are inside the Harbor's Master office. You're up on the second floor. Volo has just signed the book and given it to Roland. And Zindar, the Golden Dragon, has basically said that he doesn't have time for Volo's nonsense and asked him to leave.
Steve asks if there's any openings that need filling around the harbor, other than manual labor.
So you ask the Harbor Master.
Correct.
He kind of looks up from his paper and kind of sizes you guys up, and you can tell he's considering it and sees that you're of the adventuring type. Says, "Well, got a bit of a pirate problem. If you can take care of that, be a lot of gold in it for you."
Does he have a ship that we can commandeer?
Well, hold on. Let's find out where the pirates are. Maybe they're in
Get a
town.
ship out of this.
Well, okay, that's fair. But as a
Even if they're in town.
how does that relate to us getting a ship? I mean,
can I ask the nature of his pirate problem?
Yeah, well, there's been 3 ships terrorizing most of our inbound cargo and trade. If it wasn't bad enough just having an Aramag out there, now we've got these 3 blasted ships. If somebody was to go pull those ships in, and maybe even the captains, there'd be an awful lot of gold in it for you.
I see. How are they avoiding the dragon turtles?
Well, I assume you mean Aramag. There's only one dragon turtle, thank the gods. If he had
Dragon
a
turtle.
I don't know. I don't know what would happen. But they try to get to the ships before they get to Aramag. Aramag normally hangs out just outside the chain, and they'll get you before you even get close.
I see. Good to know. All right. Well, how are you expecting we deal with something given that there's a dragon turtle in between us and the pirates?
I'm confused. You can pay your way past Aramag, and I promise you the amount of gold in it if you can bring stability back to the trade here in Port Nine'Zaro would be far more than what you'd lose to Aramag's mouth.
I think you'll find us very battle capable, but we don't have a ship, and we aren't, most of us, sorry, Recto, sailors. We'd be happy to take care of your pirate problem, but we would need some vessel to get through them, and of course, enough silver to buy off your turtle friend.
nice. Well said.
I see. Well, I don't know that we can make a deal then. I'm not in the habit of giving ships away, but, well, actually, now that I think about it, all right, well, there is a guy. His name is Dashland. He came to the port just a few weeks ago, and he's been looking for somebody to do some charting for him, and it sounds like he's willing to part ways with his ship if somebody helped him out. So maybe you could ask him.
Sounds very interesting. I had one other question. We've recently been introduced to an influential individual in the town, Wakanga. What can you tell us about him and his dealings? It would help in dealing with your pirate situation.
So you're very new here, huh? So Wakanga, I'm surprised you've met him. He's one of the 7 merchant princes of the city, the rulers of the city. You should count yourselves very fortunate to have met him.
We're quite accomplished.
So, not a son of a bitch. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He's a merchant. He trades primarily focuses on magical items, enchantments. Each of the princes have their own specialty. Kind of own and lock down a part of the trade here, and they look to me to make sure that the trade flows freely through the harbor.
What about Akini Alpha? What can you tell us about that person?
And his for the first time you see him smile. Akini Alpha, ha ha. Well, fantastic gladiator. Worked her way up. Started poor as a servant and fought in our arena, and success after success built her wealth, and eventually was able to retire from the arena and challenge her way up the ladder, and eventually became one of the 7 merchant princes.
Self-made woman. That's good to know.
Have you met Akini Alpha? This group, you've done well for yourselves in the first few days. I would implore you to consider my proposal about the pirates.
Zindar, it would be a big help. Do you happen to have a map of the area?
No, the city.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Actually, let me find one for you.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
All right. And so he rumbles through some papers, and
Yes, we are kind of a big deal, by the way.
Let's see. There you go. I don't know why somebody kind of rotated the map when they made it. Kind of annoying.
So does that mean, fourth wall here, the darkness will be cleared up on our...
Bow!
Okay, thank you.
So it is spoken, so it shall come to pass.
So Zindar, having heard that we are quite connected in this city already, having been here only a few hours, are you willing to provide us
bring that up?
the
Sorry,
silver?
go ahead.
That's a good question. To give us the silver required to get by this turtle.
We just walked in the door. Give us all your stuff.
You got a boat and a map and...
No, he doesn't. He directed us to a guy whose name was...
Look.
He doesn't have that, but he may have.
If what you say is true about having met 2 merchant princes in your first day, you are impressive adventurers indeed. But I'm still not giving you a bunch of gold to go feed to Airmag when you don't even have a fucking ship.
Fair enough.
We'll take silver instead.
We'll be back. We'll be back when the ship has been secured. I'll trust that will be enough proof for you that we're worth your money.
All right, and he kind of waves
a pleasure.
feather of a quill at you and says, "All right, well, if you see any adventurers that actually have a ship, send them my way."
Where can we meet this? Did you already tell us this? I was.
He told us the guy's name. But
Dashland. He's a newcomer. He's probably staying at one of the inns over in the Market War. I've heard he's hanging out around Golden Throne from time to time as well. So, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'd like to say you've been quite helpful in giving us all the information we need to solve your problem. Thank you very much. It's been very, very helpful.
He kind of just looks at you for a second and just goes back to his paperwork.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Volo for the book. Ask him if he has anything else special with him at the moment as we're kind of walking out.
He kind of burps.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
So
special.
where are you off to next, Volo?
Oh, well, I was thinking of going for a drink.
Is that where we could find you in the future?
Yeah,
Near a drink?
yeah. I'm staying at the Thundering Lizard. If you got friends that want to buy another copy, I've got more copies of my book, Volo's Guide to Monsters. That's VOLOS. Anyway, come see me. Come see me at the Thundering Lizard.
It's been
Actually-
a pleasure.
If he has multiple copies of a book, given that he's quilling it out one by one, that's actually pretty impressive. Just to say, Steve remembers that he'd never known or heard of anyone with a book in his entirety of living in Neverwinter.
He's never seen a book before.
No, it's just in his youth he hadn't seen a book until he started adventuring.
Aren't you a spellcaster? Don't you use books to learn stuff?
No, I use this evil imp over here to learn stuff. He tells me what a giant kraken from the sea wants, and then I do those things, and then I know spells.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right, so you guys kind of walk down to the bottom floor of the harbor master's office. Volo kind of walks over and sits on a bench and kind of pulls. You see him pull a flask out, and he's having a little break over by the bay.
So Troy, sorry, where did he tell us these the guy was that we need to talk to?
The
You kind of cut out. You cut out a little bit.
He said
That
Dashlin could be found around the Golden Throne.
yeah, he mentioned the Golden Throne and also the inns, and he said the inns would be at the Market Ward, and so I don't think you know where either of those places are yet.
And that we might... sorry, bit of a hiccup. Be able to acquire his ship for charting job purposes, which I'm not sure what that entails yet. So I'm sure we're not meant to.
The Market Ward. All right. Hey Volo, can you tell us where the Market Ward is?
Shouldn't we go collect our payment for getting this shield as long as it's right around the corner?
Yeah. We'll go do that in a minute. Before Volo, any thoughts on where the Market Ward is?
And he kind of just points across the harbor.
Just thinking, Recto, a merchant prince might be able to give us a fair bit of information about the Market Ward.
I agree, but the more data points we have, Steve, the better.
Okay, but this guy's a drunk, and we're headed to a merchant prince.
And so I've
You're right.
updated
Merchant
the map
princes
to-
don't drink. You're right. I apologize for that.
Wasn't drunk when we saw him last. Just
So I've updated your map to show you where the Market Ward is based upon where Volo pointed.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to. God, it's gonna take forever to get there. All right. Yeah, I'm down for going back to Wakanga. Talk to him.
Okay, so what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I'm good
walking back, and I happen to mention those guys. It goes, guys, you guys see that dinosaur racing? That looked pretty incredible, don't you think? I mean, so much speed and chaos. I really liked it.
Yeah, it would have been really cool to be a rider in one of those things. I mean, I feel like if they would have asked one of us, we'd have done really well.
You
That
can't
would
wait.
have been fun.
You can't wait to be asked things in life, Recto.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, what are the chances of something like that happening? Really?
So as you say this, you hear the rumble of the dinosaur running
Get out of the
behind
way!
you. Roll an acrobatics check, each of you.
Crap. Shouldn't have mentioned.
Oh God!
That's your acrobatics? Aren't you supposed to be acrobatic?
That's with a
That's
plus
that's
7.
Plus 7.
Isn't that your one thing?
That is my no. That is my. Oh my God, we're all dead.
Golly.
Oh boy.
So you guys managed to dodge a few of the dinosaurs, but then this big fat Stegosaurus runs through, and you kind of step barely to the side, but his tail swings around and catches you all right on the butt and throws you into mud. Now you're just covered in mud.
That's unfortunate. We look unseemly.
We're kind of a big deal.
It's gonna. Well, look. Let's just get to Wakanga's house. I'm sure he has.
Somebody have a boatload of silver anywhere?
You know, if anyone does, a merchant prince would be not a
Don't
terrible
you want to give
place
it to these guys?
Yeah, I mean, perhaps we could leverage Wakanga's financial holdings to help us in our next task.
Didn't say you needed a whole boatload. Just, you know, we've all got quite a bit. Even after the
Maybe you do,
unfortunate-
Steve. Some of us don't hoard money as much as others. Some of us feel it could do well in the pockets of those who don't have quite as much power.
You forget I'm this party's accountant, Recto. I know exactly how much silver you have.
All right,
And it's a lot.
I'm a man of the people. I'm a real Faerunian, Steve. This is how I roll.
Steve is already ignoring Recto.
So there's two ways that you can get back to Wakanga's.
East Coast elitist.
You can go to the northwest, or you could go to the south and then up to the. So basically, which staircase do you want to take?
Let's go
I
with the
say
one
the
we
south.
didn't go before. Yeah. The way
So-
we did. The way
That's
we
fine.
did. So
You haven't taken the northern one. You have taken the southern one.
Let's take the northern one.
Sure.
Looks
Okay.
faster anyway.
All right, so you guys kind of walk up along here, and then up here as you're kind of approaching the staircase, you just see a row of kind of mostly fishermen's huts, but you also see kind of far to the northwest from there an island out in the bay with a tall tower. It looks almost a bit like a temple with a bridge leading to it. But then you're nothing much else. So you kind of take the staircase up.
Does our map indicate what the temple is?
Your map doesn't indicate really what anything is.
It just shows where it is. Got it.
Yeah. But you're able to head over to Wakanga's house. I'll just put that thing there.
Why did our stars shrink? Did we get tiny?
I screwed it up.
Never mind. It's not important. We know where we are.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Uh,
You're now tiny. This is a new module.
Ah!
You must eat a mushroom to get bigger.
There we go. All right, so you guys kind of walk back up to the large villa belonging to Wakanga. As you walk up, the one of his servants kind of open the doors for you and usher you in. They're expecting you.
Can I take note of what that servant looks like?
Of the servant at the front door?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to carefully inspect his.
He's wearing so he has dark skin, closely cropped hair, and he's wearing it's a pretty lightweight but black. It's not quite silk. It's probably more of like a satin tunic.
Okay, and I'd like to just ask him. Thank you for letting us in. How is the master today?
I have not seen the master, but please come inside.
I just wanted to hear how he talked. Thanks.
Nice.
So a different servant kind of comes along and kind of asks, kind of motions for you to follow her out back out to where you were before, which was out in the veranda.
By different, do you mean she has a vagina?
That is one of the differences. She's a different person.
Need to get a sobriety pact on Recto
He
right
said-
away.
Different. He said different kind of servant. I'm just wondering what that means. I don't know. I don't understand. But
No, like it's not a different kind, just a different servant.
Job,
you said a different kind of servant.
misogynist.
Like one is clearly the door person, and this is more of somebody who does other things that aren't the door.
Oh, so women can't be door people. I understand. Okay.
Well,
According to
you guys have only been to one villa. Maybe at the next villa over, the door person's a woman and the non-door people are men.
All right.
No, that's just crazy
You're
talk.
painting
Yeah.
with a broad
Look,
brush.
here's a
Yeah.
question. Here's a
It's a
question.
misogynist. It's a brussel
But-
misogynist.
What you need to know are: do the women only do doors that open a certain way? Is that the differentiation?
I think we're known for RPing all the wrong things.
Women
What
only
is-
get the outward left-hand doors.
What is
and,
what is the table made of? We inspect it for the next 38 minutes.
Seems like pine.
two
I don't know.
hinges or three
It's a
hinges.
rich mahogany.
Anyway,
Can I just sort of knock on it to get the sense of how hollow it is?
F you, that's oak. I punch Recto.
proceed.
The female type of servant takes you out to the veranda, and Sindra is out there more or less where you left her, but you don't see Wakanga.
I asked Sindra, I was like, well, we were hoping to speak to Wakanga. We managed to complete his errand and find what information he had for us. Is he around?
He had to leave, but he did leave something for you. And she hands you 2 books and a letter.
Hands me specifically?
Well, who engaged her? Whoever was talking to her?
I did. Steve.
Then she hands it to you. Yes.
Steve inspects the books in the letter.
Okay. So let me share the letter here. There we go.
Could you refresh us who our mutual friend that he's referring to?
No
He's talking
idea.
about Sindra.
Oh.
Oh.
Right, because she's dying.
Nice that he didn't tell us where Joe Ball is, or where to go, or what his last name is.
His last name is Ball. His first name is Joe.
Maybe, as far as I know.
So the other thing that he hands you, he hands you she hands you a journal, and it's actually the journal that he had already showed to you before you agreed to take on.
Yeah, that was the agreement if we did the delivery, right?
Yeah. So she hands you a journal. It's pretty beat up. It's in rough shape. And she the other book that was there is what you can immediately tell is a spell book.
I'd like to
That was
So-
for
take
That
a
was
closer
for
look.
So that was for Zigmundo. Honestly, like
yeah.
he
That's
had
what we were
negotiated
doing.
this.
A spell. Okay, well, so I'll hand the spell book to Zig after flipping through it a little bit to see if there's anything of interest. I'll assume
Okay.
that there's not for me.
So
But
I'll show this to everybody.
batter spell, wizard spell.
There you go. Some wizard spells.
Okay, good to know.
Dimension door is so good. Oh my god! Look, what?
Wow.
So what does that mean? 4 dimension door? Does that mean?
It's a level 4
A
spell.
level 4.
Okay.
It's not like a scroll. It's not like you can
And
cast.
might not be one he takes either, if my reading of some of those spells is right.
Have you met
Well,
Zig? Dude, he's
so-
all
so the
about
way-
getting out of combat.
The way wizards work, right, is he doesn't have to take them or not take them. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
they
a
just-
long rest, he can choose which ones he uses.
They
As
just,
long
know,
as he
they
has
just
a spell
know
book
them.
passive.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, that's insanely valuable. I'll definitely pass that to Zig, and also like to examine the journal.
Okay. And let me see. So you kind of crack open the journal, and Sindra kind of tells you more about it as you do. It's a journal that was cataloging the adventures of a wizard, probably the same wizard that whose spell book you were just given as well.
Tigwam.
What's that? Yeah,
Tigwam.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so Chult, before he met what looked like was probably an abrupt end, given that the journal doesn't have any more entries after a certain point. She mentions that some of Wakanga's staff read through it, didn't really find anything of note in general, but there was one location that they were able to suss out from his journal entries where it sounds like he had a shield guardian with him, which is basically kind of like an anime, like almost like a golem kind of thing, and that was the wizard's companion, but he had to leave it behind, and they were able to kind of figure out where in the jungle this was, and so she kind of asks for your map, the map of Chult and marks that on your map for you.
Whoa.
As you flip through the journal of well, first you learn that the golem, the shield guardian, is named Vorn. And then later in the, in kind of almost the appendixes of the journal, in the back pages, in a separate set of sheets that seem to have been added to the journal, you see a drawing, a sketch of what looks like a control amulet for the mechanism, but it doesn't say where that control amulet is.
Okay, I'd like to try to investigate if it's now or if it's at our next rest or whenever you think is an appropriate window of time. Investigate the journal sufficiently to see if there's anything that the servants of a merchant might have missed about an adventurer's journal.
Okay, so that would probably take like an hour, probably multiple hours.
So maybe at our next long rest then,
Yep.
if we could set that as something that is. Warlocks are inherently seekers of secrets, and I view this as maybe a sweet find for.
Sure.
Sindra, is there any ideas how this journal was obtained?
I don't know. Wakanga is a merchant, so many things are sold to him. He buys many things.
I reckon it was obtained off a corpse, Recto.
She says she doesn't know, right? But that from what she understands, it was found in the jungle.
Does Wakanga have a bookkeeper or someone who keeps track of acquisitions and sales that he makes?
She says that he does, but she's not sure who to point you towards. But that is certainly somebody that Wakanga would have in his employ.
Can I ask the different kind of guard that brought us out here, who that might be?
Yeah, so you ask her, and she tells you
Servant,
that
not guard.
Yeah, she basically tells you that she's in charge. She's in charge of kind of some of the domestic operations. She's doesn't interfere with Wakanga's business.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Sindra. Sindra, we've recently been the victims of a rather significant theft, and we'd do well to reprovision ourselves and be aware of our surroundings as we go out, as we often find ourselves in trouble. Could you acquaint us with any of the significant features of the city that we're in before we leave?
Yeah, so she's excited to hear this because she wants to hear that you guys are gonna leave, basically. Her eyes open wide and she says, "Yes, of course. Let me help you. You first. You should go to the Red Bazaar and the Grand Souk. Both of those are excellent places to gather provisions. But I would strongly recommend finding a guide first. Many people who head out into the jungles of Chult without a guide never return. Well, frankly, many of the people that take a guide never return. But it's important to me that you succeed, and I would like to see you take somebody who knows the jungles with you."
Do you know a person like
anybody
that?
specific?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but Wakanga might be able to point you in the right direction. I know that many of the guides advertise outside of many of the buildings in the cities, the inns, the taverns. You might be able to be pointed in the right direction by looking at those. Jobal is one of the merchant princes. He's in charge of all of the guides of the city, so you could also seek out Jobal.
Could you show us on our map where he might reside, or the area, his neighborhood at least?
Yeah, and so she takes the map that you received from the harbor master, and she kind of to the far south of the city. She marks a point that says is where Jobal likely would be.
Excellent.
Old Joey Ball.
And if she mentioned any other points, can we assume that she showed us on our map where those were as well?
Yeah, so she mentioned the Grand Souk, and so you find that is the kind of red and blue tent near Jabal's house.
Okay.
She tells you that this is effectively it's a market.
Right.
Right.
There's a lot of markets.
There are a lot of markets, yes.
Women be shopping.
Well, adventurers be shopping. They better be shopping. We got all this gold. We never spent it on anything.
And also the Red Bazaar, which is to the northeast, and that would be good for provisioning.
You cut out, but I assume you're marking it.
I did, yeah. So near the market ward is the Red Bazaar, which she also said would be good for. Yeah.
I was just thinking, okay, we need to find up to 14 things, and then you added 4 more things with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she mentions that that time is of the essence. So she would like to see you, hurry and try to leave in the morning.
Well, we'll do our best, but we do need to be appropriate. As you say, most people die, and we've never been here before, and we don't have a guide yet. So we'll do our best, but understand that if we go in unprepared, you're as good as dead anyway.
I'd like to ask her about that building to the north of us.
The one on the island?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that? Sorry?
No, I was going to say specifically, like, whose is it? Well, and I guess generally about it.
So she tells you that it's the Temple of Suni, and it's a bit like a public bath.
Does it have a number?
It does.
I'm obsessed with these now.
He's collecting them.
I'm collecting. You put out a completionist nightmare by setting numbers into teens here.
So I'd like to look around at everybody, beings that were covered in mud, saying, "Hey, baths wouldn't be bad."
Baths wouldn't be the worst thing I ever heard of either. We can't be expected to be taken seriously or get the best discounts in shopping if we look like we just came out of an alley.
You
So
people
assuming
are
it's near the
so
end of the day, I
vain.
think you said, and we wanted to go in the morning, are we doing anything else for the rest of this day? I
Going
assume
to the
that's time
bath.
it is.
What time is it right now?
Yeah.
It's probably getting to be close to dinner time.
Yeah.
Let's go to an inn.
Baths.
Find some dinner.
I want a bath first.
Bath, then dinner?
Bath, then we can go to one of the inns where who were one of the people we were looking for in an inn? Wasn't there
You guys,
somebody?
Dashland might be in an inn.
So we could do baths and then go look for Dashland.
I love that we're just planning a regular day now. You guys want to get a shower and then go out?
That's in the shit.
Okay, that works for me.
So she kind of points to you, Steve, and kind of motions for you to come closer, and she says, "The cube. You hadn't shown me the cube in Baldur's Gate. That cube is very familiar."
Did I not? I believe I did show it to her. Did I not?
I don't think you showed it to her in Baldur's Gate.
No, he definitely did, and she said come down to talk to this guy, and he could tell her what it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then I showed it to that guy, and he asked if he could buy it, and I told him
Yes, he
definitely
did.
not.
So
He
she
told him
tells
to
you
go
a little bit
scratch.
Yeah.
She tells you a little bit more. She does tell you that she does remember Nesnar finding it here in Chult, and that he found it where she died.
Where did she die?
She died in a town called a ruins called Mabala,
Okay.
which should already be on your map.
Is there anything else she can tell us about either the circumstances of her death, the way Nesnar acquired the cube, or the cube itself?
She says she doesn't remember most of her death, but that she knows that they were in a battle with some flying creatures, what they call Terra folk here, which are a bit like humanoid flying dinosaurs.
Oh boy, there's so many terrifying flying monsters.
Fucking, oh my god.
So many terrifying flying monsters.
But that there was something else there. That the Terra folk weren't what ultimately killed her. Something else happened. She's not sure what.
Yeah, by the way, I'm up for a quick break.
Yeah,
is she a smoker?
Yeah, smoking if you got them. Yeah, I mean, you might as well, right?
Smoking kills.
If only Nesnar had been available for comment and review of this item.
Yeah. Who killed him, by the way?
Oh, okay. I don't know. You might have for all I
No,
know.
it wasn't me. I was unconscious.
You kill Vulture most of our kills.
I only killed prisoners of war.
Yeah, and unarmed individuals.
I love how you added that damage to your damage healing chart. By the way, the thing that you were beating out of the enemy.
No, I actually did
I don't
not.
know what's wrong. You came into our house.
Did not add that.
Why
Why
are you
hitting
punching
me?
me? And you're like DPS going up.
You never asked what we're even doing here.
Cats, baby.
To be fair, I did not add that to my damage.
You should have.
Shut
That's
Perhaps.
how real man damages.
It's damaged.
All right, so bio break and then
Yeah.
off
As long
to
as
the chat.
Garad added his peaceful damage to his charts when he broke into their house initially.
I just want to be friends with you. You say as you break his knee in half. Now let's talk as friends. I gotta say, when I was listening to that stream, I was just mind boggled. I was like,
I'll be right back.
Why is he wasting 9 turns of diplomacy on a guy whose face is cracked? Hello?
Yep.
Terraman is P-T-E-R-A, yes?
Yes.
Not T-E-R-R-A.
No. PT.
Yeah. Got it. That's way different. The Latin roots are important to me. Yeah, I know some members of our party were like, oh, we really need to get out there and start racing and fighting. But now I'm like, I gotta find all the numbers in this, in this town and go to every one and see what's in there.
That would take a long time.
I know, right? That's what's disheartening about it, because I'm gonna want to do that. Well, probably. I mean, I'm hoping at some point we're gonna have to come back here. In between.
You can come back whenever you want, right?
Well, we can't come back. We can't come back yet because we've never left, and then I don't know if we'll be able to come back later. Because aren't we going to a totally different part of the island?
Well, right. Like you'll have to travel back,
Right.
but it's not like
the place where we're headed to do our adventuring is on the same, per our map, on the same island as this city.
that's right. Yeah, you don't know where you need to go.
But we won't need extraordinary aerial or sea travel to get there. We could conceivably walk, however long that took.
Probably yes. You don't really know, but yeah, she believes from basically what Sindra has told you is she believes that the source of the death curse is somewhere in Chult, which is this
Which is this island, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a map of a fair bit of it,
Yep.
and I've got a vision of some of it. So
All right, I'm back.
hopefully I'll know it when I see it.
I'm back.
So before you guys take off, Sindra kind of pulls you closer and tell you a couple more things. So she apologizes that she can't point you to exactly where to go. She encourages you to kind of check in with the locals in Port Nyanzaro. She hasn't been here for a long time. Perhaps they'll know more about where you should start your search.
Which locals?
Yeah, the locals. And
no,
the last thing.
which locals?
Oh,
Specifically. Don't just like, I mean, I wouldn't just, I assume, not just walk out the door and be like, hello, person on the street. Like, is there someone that would know something in particular about where we're trying to go or what we're trying to do?
yeah. Well, she basically says that she's not sure, right? Because she hasn't been here for many years. But that when she was an adventurer, she would have started off at the taverns.
Yeah, so not necessarily any local, but one you can kind of assume or learn has been around. Somebody who seems like they know what's going on.
All adventuring starts in taverns. Steve knows this.
Yeah, you meet in a tavern.
You meet in a tavern, yeah.
She basically says, like, Wakanga is a great friend. He can help with many things in the city, but his experience is in the city, and you need to learn more about what's happening outside of this.
Understood.
And then her last thing is she tells you that the map she gave you is incredibly valuable, and to be careful who you tell that you have it.
Is there a FedEx Kinko's around here anywhere?
Which map?
She's talking about the map of Chult. So
Got it.
Because Chult is kind of famous, poorly charted, and that's why you think back to her study in Baldur's Gate, where she basically just amassed all of this research from little snippets and has pieced that together into, while very incomplete, the most complete map that exists.
And it magically fills itself in as we proceed.
Basically, yes. I mean, you guys are going to fill it in.
Or we won't, and we'll be dead.
Yeah.
Andy, are you back?
You'll be dead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So to the baths.
Baths?
Baths?
Shawarma.
Baths. You guys like baths?
Yeah. Baths.
All right.
All right. So let's head out west. Yeah, up the bridge, and yeah.
Okay. So you guys kind of start walking along this long bridge. You see this temple on the other side. It's a formation just jutting right out of the sea. The winds are really heavy as you walk across that relatively narrow bridge. When you look at the temple, it's pretty crazy. The kind of the main part of the structure is a beautiful kind of white marble. But the rooftop of the temple, at first you think is just floating in space. But as you get closer, you realize that there's a ring of mirrors along the top of the tower that give an illusion of the sky separating that roof from the rest of the building. So as you kind of walk, get closer to the temple, there's some people leaving. They're fresh and nicely laundered clothes. More people going. No one's quite as dirty as you all, frankly. But there's a number of what clearly seems to be people that are maybe priests might be one word for it, but it's a little bit different, right? They don't look like priests. They're beautiful.
Are they dragon cultists?
What's that?
Are they
No.
dragon cultists?
They're not.
They're not. They're not dragon cultists.
Oh, thank God.
They are. They're just really attractive men and women who are kind of welcoming everybody in and kind of pairing them off effectively, almost one by one, as somebody walks in. Somebody takes their arm and takes them inside. So as you guys approach, I need each of you to make a charisma check, and since you're so freaking dirty, it's going to be with disadvantage. Nice. Oh boy.
Wait a second.
Oh, that's not. Yeah. So both you and Andy, not a save check.
Oh, sorry.
Just click on the word charisma in your abilities.
I did, but it was save. Yeah, right.
Over on the left there. Yeah.
Even better.
Wait. Steve, seeing that there's such attractive ladies up there and realizing it's been a while, would like to use a luck point.
His third roll, in which he's rolled 2 1s initially.
It's
right.
It's been a while for Steve. And,
Use your luck point.
Oh my god!
That's significantly better.
Oh god, I wanted that to be another 1.
I wanted it to be a 1 so bad.
That would be terrible. That's the whole reason for luck points, is to avoid such things.
As Recto and Roland approach, you can see kind of the a little bit of a crowd almost of the devotees gather and just look really kind of sad and sympathetically towards you. I mean, almost like, your little lost puppy dogs, and they kind of bring you inside. But for Steve, as he approaches, a few of the women and a couple of the men, they're almost cheering and welcoming him into the temple, as if he was like a long lost brother, like they'd seen him a million times before, and they're just welcoming him back into the fold. And so they bring you all inside and separate you. Quite quickly, they kind of ask Steve to follow them upstairs, while Recto and Roland kind of just lead you into the main floor.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's he going?
And you're asking the devotees?
Yeah, the people who are leading me one way. I look up at where they're taking Steve, and I say, wait, where's he going?
Well, some of our more distinguished guests are brought into the private quarters.
He's not more distinguished.
No, Steve messages you guys. It's fine, guys. I'll see you later.
He's not more distinguished, I assure you.
So they kind of just don't respond.
Believe me.
And they say, "Well, we realize that you two, motioning to Recto and Roland, need our assistance and need more of our attention here."
Who are you people?
We're the devotees of Sunni.
Who is Sunni?
Well, Sunni is she's the goddess of beauty, and we're here to help you become beautiful.
Okay.
I love to be beautiful.
All right. So they lead you.
Yeah. Let's.
Motion for you to follow them into some in front of you.
Yeah. Realizing that we'll probably be better off with Steve covering one side of this and us covering the other. Recto shuts up too and rolls along with it.
Okay. So we'll do a little montage.
Steve is fine covering the hot side of the temple.
So a little montage. Steve gets brought upstairs and gets primped, and they clean him up and give him beautiful, nice new clothing, luxurious clothing.
Thank you, my brethren, for accoutring me in the manner to which I am accustomed.
The Roland and Recto, they wash you up. They kind of give you a kind of a little temporary outfit to wear for a little bit while they wash your clothes, but then kind of give your same stinky clothes back to you after they've been rinsed out. But then they kind of pull you almost through a little bit of a factory line where there's these different stations, where each of the stations they try to teach you basically how to take care of yourself.
Be less ugly than you currently are.
So, there's a station where they teach you, they give you a little bit of haircut and teach you they talk to you about how to comb lice out of your hair, and then a different one they're tuck in your shirt and basically treating you kind of like
I don't wear a shirt.
Fair enough.
Oh, you can tuck these things in.
Maybe you
Oh.
should wear a shirt right now.
Can you
Steve,
go over
if
the
you look
combing
like
the
me, you
back?
wouldn't wear a shirt either.
They offer you makeup if you're interested.
I'm interested.
All right, they kind of give you some
Lipstick on a
no.
pig. Do I have to be a pig?
they give you some recommendations based upon your skin tone. You know, what would be more attractive, help to
You're a winter.
flatten out some of the discolorations from all of the sun, right? Spritz you with some relatively cheap perfume. While Steve, by the way, you have like just they kind of just leave you to hang out and use this nicely appointed cushioned
all of them leave me because I
beds. No, well, they're kind of milling about. They're milling about. So
some of the nicer ladies I'd invite to join and discuss.
yeah, and then there's like these walls of expensive perfumes and crystal bottles and just everything's there for your taking effectively. But the other guys are kind of just led through these little stations one at a time for remedial beauty training.
I'd like to investigate the room to see if there's anything particularly outstanding or valuable in the area.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay.
And I'll give you advantage on this because they're happy. They want you to go look.
Right. They want me to check their stuff out, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can see that some of the particularly the perfume bottles, a few of them are in pretty nice crystal containers that you think would be reasonably valuable.
But it's just perfume.
It is just perfume.
I pick one of the most valuable looking ones and sort of spray the air and then walk through it.
Okay. All right. You do it, and one of them walks up and says, "Excellent choice," and kind of sniffs in the air and goes, They love you."
Yeah, as all people should. I inquire about their schedule for the evening.
They say that they're going to be closing soon, but they're happy that they were able to accommodate you today.
I ask if there is anything else that the devotees of SUNY can do for a worthy band of adventurers, including
They kind of see where you're going with this, and very politely.
No, I mean I honestly mean anything. Although, not that it wasn't implied that I would be willing to sleep with some of the devotees, but I do. I am quite clear eventually that I do mean anything at all.
Right. So they basically, almost remind you because they see that you're, somebody of your looks and beauty would clearly know this already.
I am quite beautiful.
That they're here to elevate everybody up to the maximum of their potential in the aesthetics arena. And
you're doing the divine's work.
Yes.
I hope you've managed to do something with my companions. They're absolutely filthy. One of them smells like some type of animal at all times. It's unbearable.
So the devotees around you kind of laugh, and they think that's hilarious.
I don't think he's talking about me.
All right, so
that's a surprise.
So night starts to fall, and so Recto and Roland as kind of get processed out pretty quickly, and you end up having to
Hang on. No. As we're getting processed out, can I do something?
Yeah.
So as we're walking out, I'd like to turn to. I'm assuming there's like a front desk or like a lobby or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. There's a lobby.
As we're walking, I say, "Well, what? I'm sure there's some charge, or what do we owe you for this?" And I reach my hands into my pocket.
So they gesture towards a basin, a marble basin, and tell you that SUNY is glad to accept your gifts.
Okay. As he does that, I reach in my pockets and, like, clumsily, as I pull out 5 silver pieces, I also dropped my gem with markings that I picked up in one of our adventures, and also the platinum signet ring, and also the 88 gold pieces that I had in my pocket, and they all kind of roll all over the floor.
Okay.
But I take
Why would you do that to yourself?
But I take the 5 silver pieces and I put them in that thing real quick as I then go back and pick up all the other stuff I dropped on the floor.
So,
I'd
sorry.
like to
Hold on,
walk
I
by.
missed, my thing broke up, but can you repeat some of that, Mike?
I said as I drop the 5 silver pieces in the as I pull out the 5 silver pieces, I kind of intentionally drop the platinum signet ring, the gem with markings that we pulled out of the Wave Echo Cave, and also I don't know, we'll say 50 gold pieces that were in my pocket, and kind of just drop them all over the floor. But I dropped 5 silver pieces in the donation stack, and but then I go pick up everything else that I dropped and put them back in my pockets.
Okay.
I'd like to, as he's scurrying to pick those up, I would like to just walk past, point to him, and say to the front person at the front desk, "He's paying for me," and just keep walking.
Okay. So the devotees, they don't make any movement to try and pick up your stuff. They stand there kind of almost self-consciously clasping their hands together and in front of them to make it clear that they're not gonna try and snatch anything.
All right, cool. Just want to let them know I had money.
This guy throwing dollar bills around.
So make it rain.
Dollar gold coins.
You're the Jersey Mafia of the Temple of Suni.
So you guys leave, and then
Who's hoping to get
wait
that
for Steve,
secret?
and they actually start to shut the doors and close up, and you're wondering where Steve is, and then right at the last minute, Steve slips out. Last one out.
I'd like to wave what you're all doing. The amazing work of the divine. Please feel free to come and approach me at any time in the city. I would love to have the company of any of you. Well,
and they wave back. We love you, Steve. Come back soon.
I know you do.
All right.
I want to lean over to Recto as I'm watching that and go, I hate that guy.
Hey, hey, Steve, what'd that cost you?
Yeah, not much actually. Pretty much zero. I guess they just recognize inherent qualities about Steve that you guys haven't managed to cotton to yet.
Well, clearly they must.
All right.
Thinking of becoming a cleric.
So it's the sun has set now, so it's early evening.
Bar time.
Yeah. Let's.
Time to drink our dinner.
Yeah. I can't wait to walk into a dive bar looking like this, you guys. I'm so excited.
So was there any indication of the taverns that who are we looking for here? What was his name?
We're looking for Dashland. Can be found in inns. Yeah. But there are other people that Syndra suggested we find in taverns to engage. So I think we just walk down the street, maybe this way, until we find a tavern that is... Well, actually, if we're going across the bridge...
No, I'd like to suggest we go to taverns near the water, like near the harbor.
Oh, yeah, because he'd be a piratical, right?
Yeah.
So maybe down this way.
So you guys going down here, or...?
Down this way, and then towards the waterfront.
Right.
So as you guys kind of...
Towards the docks.
Yeah. So as you guys get to these docks, you look out to your east, out into the bay, and you see that the docks here are quite well guarded, and the ships that are at these docks are more like pleasure vessels, luxury vessels, not trading ships.
Guys want to keep moving or stop here?
Yeah. I just
I don't have anything.
Just asked a guard on the way past, why all the security on these docks?
These are the royal docks. These are the ships that belong to the merchant. No access unless you're with the prince.
Excellent reasoning. And then I proceed to move by.
Did you say the merchant prince ships? Is that right?
Merchant docks. Merchant prince docks, yeah.
The royal
Got
docks.
one.
Okay.
Got
Well
one.
done, Steve.
That's the right thing.
Yeah. All right. How many numbers are we missing now?
A bunch.
Yeah,
So
no.
many.
So you walk further south, and to your west, as you pass, you see what looks like another temple here, with kind of it's got a bit of an open courtyard. You can see it's a cube-shaped building with an open courtyard in the middle.
Can I somehow check to see who the temple is devoted to?
You do see a pretty large stone building. It's very boxy, not a lot of decoration, but there are some inscriptions. You can make a religion check here. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to do it.
No?
I'm
I thought that would do it for sure.
I'm wondering, Troy, are the people around us, are the commoners in the area, or the commoners, whoever happens to be in the area, are they speaking common, or are they speaking a language unfamiliar to us, or?
Yeah, so whenever you've engaged with somebody, they've been able to speak common, but you hear a lot of a different language, a language with a little bit more of like a clicking to it. It seems like that's what they prefer to use when speaking with one another, but when you talk to them in common, they've all been able to.
I'd like to briefly, just being kind of curious about this new area and the religious sects in town, just briefly send Hansy in through the front door to look around and see if he sees anything of particular interest.
Okay, so Hansy flies inside and he sees, main thing that he sees of interest is, as he gets a better look of the courtyard has an immense, large fountain with water jets, creating almost magical, improbable shapes out of water above the fountain.
Fair enough. I've got an idea as to what the temple might be, and I recall Hansy.
I feel like we're kind of on a mission here to get to a tavern, so we're probably not going to stop at a temple.
I keep walking.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just saying, I feel like, I'm just trying to explain that's probably why we moved by there.
I just wanted an idea. It's like, if you had an invisible scout that could fly around and look and then come back, that might be something that you would do. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So as you keep walking towards the south, to your east, you see another large jetty that goes out into the bay, and a one of the many gates inside the city. Big stone archways that have a lattice work gate at the top that can be closed but are currently all open. Once you get past the gate, you kind of have a decision which way are you guys going.
I say
to the water.
Yeah, stay along the bay there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're only going to see docks around there. If we're looking for an inn or a tavern, I wouldn't suspect that we'd see.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to get a drink on the water, right?
Well, we're looking for a tavern near the water,
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah, but there's not a ton of buildings in the direction that the star is going. I would suggest we head more down this area, still near the water, but towards a place where an inn or a tavern.
So walking through here, can we see the ships that are on the docks to our east at all?
You can, yes.
What kind of, can we tell what kind of ships they are?
Yeah, pretty much all of the ships in the harbor, with the exception of the Royal Docks, are trade ships.
Steve knows that any building immediately on the water is a working building or a dock house or a fishmonger, not a place to eat. It's a couple of streets away that you tend to head.
Aside from what Steve knows, can we ask one of the people that are on the street, maybe be like, hey, is there a local tavern around here?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
No, he talked to people.
Oh,
Ugh.
talk to someone. Oh my God, what a.
We're looking for a good place to drink, where maybe some of the sailors around here might go to hang out or have a beverage after a long day at sea.
So you stop one gentleman who smells like fish, and he's walking to the south, kind of at a little bit of a faster clip than you guys, but you're able to pull him aside and ask him. And he says, "Well, are you looking for a place to stay or just a place to drink?"
To stay.
Yes.
Both. Yes, is the answer. Yes.
Well, it depends. Are you looking for a nice, quiet, good night's sleep, or maybe a out, eh?
Where's the closest place we can drink?
Yeah, the latter.
Oh, well, Most of what you would find would be in the market ward, to east, across from the warehouse district.
Okay, thank
I
you,
would
sir.
recommend the Thundering Lizard. Favorite of mine back when I would go out more often, but I have too many small children now.
I understand that severely hampers a man's nights out. Can you show us on your map where the Thundering Lizard is?
Do you have a corresponding number with said?
No, probably not. Although that would be awesome.
We have this map. Can you point to the building on this map?
He points to a building in the Red Bazaar district for you.
Well, just ping it for us if you would.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, you guys want to head there, like around this?
Yeah,
little...
I'd say we go rather than into this walled district. Although we should definitely head into the district at some point. Like,
yeah,
just sort of amble through.
Yeah, that's an interesting little alcove there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you guys get
gotta be at least 2 numbers in there.
Yeah, right.
So as you guys get to about here, you look back down in this direction, which you've already passed once, and this time you pay a little bit more attention. You see the great open market, what Syndra had told you is called the Grand Souk, and you see, even though it's getting late, you still see a ton of activity, folks trading and buying. It looks like it's some pretty exotic goods as well. It's not just your local fish market or meat market. There are street performers and people running about, some urchins, diving in and out of the crowd, probably up to no good. And you see people carrying out pelts and ivory and all sorts of exotic goods, heading back towards the warehouse district.
Does Steve notice anybody who seems particularly knowledgeable about magic goods, like a very arcane type of shop, a very old-looking sort of anything like that?
So from where you are, it is open air, so you can look at that. You'd have to go into the Grand Souk and start, going.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Stall to stall.
Yeah, we'll check it out in the morning. Fair enough, but I am looking for someone that can inform me a little bit more about what this cube might be. So, anyway.
We might be able to find something there.
Moving along.
Okay. So you guys get to about here, and you see a massive, what looks probably like a bit of one of the Merchant Prince's villas here. You see some guards out front, and just this massive 3-story structure with these beautiful awnings up on the roof. You can see that there's some sort of roof deck with trees jutting out from it, and you can kind of hear some laughter, and perhaps there's a party going on up there.
I asked one of the guards whose villa it is.
And they tell you that this is the home of a Kenyafa.
Ah, okay. Is that a number?
That is a number.
Yeah!
5. Ooh, that's a low one. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
So now you're
that's
starting
the
to see
second.
it.
Wait, that's the second number 5.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh my God, there's more numbers than we thought.
Nope.
So-
We'll be here for.
No, wait, that's the third number 5.
These are all Merchant Prince locations.
Because Joe Ball's
Maybe?
villa is also number 5.
No, Joe Ball's not a Merchant Prince.
He is.
He is.
He is. All 5s are Merchant Print locations. Oh boy.
Yeah. So that means there's 18 plus however many merchant princes.
However many,
At-
almost
at
amount.
least.
Bad news, guys. We're gonna have to check every building.
We move
Start
up to the
knocking.
next building and knock on the door.
Who are you? What's your deal? No,
Are you a number?
proceed to the
So
Red
you keep-
Bazaar.
You keep walking this way.
Yeah.
Another guarded building here. Keep on going.
Once again, if it's a guarded building, Steve is like, "Hey, what are you guys guarding?" Steve always wants to know what people are guarding.
And the guard here doesn't answer you when you ask.
Even though I'm so attractive.
All right, go ahead and roll do a charisma check, and do it with advantage.
Not a saving throw, right?
No, just a charisma check with advantage.
Okay.
Boom.
So
there's-
charismatic.
There's 2 guards standing out front.
Hey, guy.
Hey!
Hey.
So there's 2 guards standing out front, and one of them is just super stoic, won't answer you. But the other guard kind of gives you a little bit of a bat of the eyelashes and leans in. This is Ifan Tauroa's villa.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Sounds like number 5.
Maybe I'll have an occasion to roll by this potential number 5 later on. Yeah, I got it.
Who is Ifan Taroa?
Which of the guards are you asking? The one that responded to Steve?
Yeah, the one that's talking to us.
He kind of turns around, turns his head, looks at you, kind of squints. Go ahead and roll a charisma check.
Oh, Christ.
You gotta be equally charismatic to a warlock.
Boom! Natural 20!
He nails it.
You stole my man, Recto.
Fucking nails it.
Stars in his eyes.
Hey there, handsome. Hello, sailor.
Turns out shirtless was the way to go after all.
Hold on. I didn't expect to have to look up this particular guy.
That'll learn you.
He tells you that that Ifan Tauroa is the merchant prince in charge of the beasts of the city, of the beast trade and of beast services.
What are beast services?
Dinosaurs.
No,
Yeah,
but
so-
what services?
Dinosaur
are they
sex.
providing?
Mostly dinosaur
you
sex.
ask him that? You ask him that?
Yes, absolutely. That is a weird phrase.
So he tells you that here in Chult, and particularly in Port Nine Zaru, they use the large beasts, the dinosaurs, for many things, like dragging the boats out of the water to the dry dock, or carrying goods from the markets to the warehouse district. And Ifan Tauroa will rent those services. You can even rent a dinosaur from into the jungle.
What's the dinosaur
Oh,
equivalent?
sorry, you cut out there. I feel like that was important.
Oh, sorry. He's saying that you could even rent a dinosaur for expeditions into the jungle from Ifan.
And I was going to ask, what is the dinosaur equivalent of a draft horse?
He says that they have one on sale called Dr. Fat Dinosaur. No, the guard doesn't know.
Okay. What relatively cheap beast can carry a great load and move at least reasonable speed?
He tells you that he's going to be off work in a few hours and would be happy to get you a drink to discuss beasts more.
All right.
What?
Maybe I'll see you there.
If we were interested in renting a beast to ride into the jungle, to use as a mounted beast, where would we go to talk about that, or who would we talk to about that?
He tells you that you'd really want to go to Tiriyiki Anchorage, to your south, to the southeast, if you were looking to do business with.
I'd like to have him point that out on our map.
All right.
I'm just trying to avoid the exhaustion that we might get from going through the jungle.
No, that's totally legitimate.
Mhm.
Anything that we can know about anything here, good to know.
Yeah, I feel like it's not going to be horses we rent here. It's going to be dinosaurs.
No, the next Dr. Fat Horse Jr. might be a Stegosaurus.
So basically, he points right out the gate and tells you that whole section of the town outside of the gates is called Tiriyiki Anchorage, and that the dinosaur pens can be found at the southern end of Tiriyiki Anchorage.
Thank you, handsome.
Yeah,
I think we'll be on our way now.
You've been so helpful. Maybe we'll see you around.
All right. He kind of whispers that you can find him at Kaya's House of Repose for drinks later.
All right.
Good to know. We may
Can you
see
show
there.
that on our map?
I let him know that we don't know where it is. See it on our map.
So
Is Steve wearing a fanny pack?
he picks it up there. Yeah.
the warlock equivalent of a fanny. It's probably made of human skin.
It's a human pack, a manny pack.
It's a manny pack.
So as you guys kind of continue north from there, you enter what is called the Red Bazaar. You can see that on the map from where Sendra told you to look for that. And it's another market, but this appears to be, mostly market for meat, right? So you see huge slabs of dinosaur meat, and the market's shutting down at this point. So people are they're actually kind of taking some of these huge slabs of meat, some of which are 4 or 5 feet long, and throwing them onto the backs of large dinosaurs to then carry off elsewhere. But you continue forward in the district, and you do encounter an inn or a tavern called the Red. I'm sorry. Which one is it?
The one that guy recommended. I forget what it was.
I didn't
Thundering
write
Lizard.
that part down. The Thundering Lizard was here, I believe, in your original thing.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So you guys are standing outside the Thundering Lizard. You see another one of billboards with a bunch of parchment pieces of paper advertising the services of various guides.
I examined the pamphlets.
Yeah, we're looking for the name of the guy we were told about.
I'm looking at all the pamphlets. I want to know about the guides, their rates, what they're advertising.
There's quite a few. You want to look at all of them?
I want to give it a fair browse.
Get your pen and paper ready.
If you were looking at sort of a billboard of postings, like say at a college campus or whatever, I'd give it a good 2 minutes, right? Enough to look, identify, move on, or not.
Is anybody offering guitar lessons?
Probably.
Find the guide with the least amount of little tags flying at the end. They must be good because everybody's taking their tag.
No,
that's exactly right.
Nope. People will rip all the tags off knowing they're only going to get 2 people.
Oh.
Yep. It's an old city trick. It's an old Neverwinter ploy that Steve would be very familiar with. He's going to look at all...
The Neverwinter tangle. You just rip them out. That's what they call it.
That's what they call it.
Okay, so you see... So you find 6 of them that look reasonable to you. So, hold on a second.
Can you show them on the map?
Reasonable and... Is any of them in a numbered location? Are we getting all of these? Oh boy, we are. Awesome. Excellent. I'll have a night to sleep on them. Wow, this is great.
We got some deciding to do here.
I'm so excited about these handouts, and I will have thoughts about them when we next meet. So for the time being, Steve looks at them, takes them, rips the handouts off, and collects them into his fine garb.
Okay.
His fanny pack.
His fanny pack, his manny pack.
All right. So you guys
to discuss with the group at large when next we speak.
All right, and you walk into the Thundering Lizard, and it's quite busy. You see several folks eating, a bunch of folks drinking, kind of walking back from the bar to tables, and a couple servers going into the back room and then back out, bringing more food and beverage out to the tables.
What's the guy's name we're looking for? I'm sorry.
Wait, it's Dashland.
All right. Let's
so Dashland.
Look, somebody yell it out really loud and look at somebody looks.
And then duck.
Oh, well, I'm gonna type out how I had spelled it when you.
Nice, huh?
Like the hound.
Like the dog.
Do you actually yell it out? Is that what you're really doing?
No, somebody can say
I'd approach the bar.
Okay.
and order a drink of the stiff variety.
Of the what?
A hard drink, like a medium expensive, respectable drink.
Are there Sorry, finish that one first.
That's it.
Okay. Are there like servers walking around, or like wenches or waitresses walking around?
So
There are.
misogynist.
Yes.
All right. I pull one of the wenches aside and I say, hey, I slip her I don't know, 5 silver pieces.
Make it
And
rain.
I say, we're looking for a Dashland. Are you familiar with that name?
She tells you that they don't really use names much in the tavern. If you could
Heyo!
more information, she'd be happy to help you.
He'd be a ship
Thank
captain,
you for-
a ship captain of some kind, someone of some influence.
Probably not of some influence if he's looking to sell his ship for charting purposes.
She so she tells you that she doesn't know of any ship captains of influence. There are a number of fishing captains that frequent the tavern, but she doesn't think that sounds like what you're looking for.
Feel free to continue, guys. I need about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Can she point me in the direction of one of the folks who might have a ship available for us?
So she's like, well, I don't know who has ships available, but she does point at, she says, he's a fisherman. He has a boat. You could go ask him. And point you to a guy who's sitting at the bar drinking a glass of, you can't really tell what it is, but it's kind of a golden liquid.
Urine? Is it urine?
It's not urine.
Roland, what are you doing, man?
Not much. I still am kind of trying to catch up what the storyline is, so I'm not even exactly sure what to be asking, to be honest.
So yeah, right here we're looking for somebody to get us a boat to take us out to take out those pirates.
Yeah.
So
is that what we're focusing on trying to do now? Is
yeah,
the pirate sort of
I think so.
quest?
Pretty sure that's why we're here. So in that case, I will head over to the person she pointed out.
Yep.
I'd like to take is there anybody who specifically smells of fish? Because they might have a boat or work at the docks and know somebody who has a boat.
Well, the guy that Meryl's talking to definitely smells like fish, but you could probably find somebody else that smells like fish if you wanted.
Well, I'll see where his goes, and then I'll take a sniff and see where that takes me.
Captain wouldn't smell like fish.
No, I'm still gonna be around it, right?
Hello, sir.
No, a fishmonger's gonna be near fish. Captain's gonna be near sweat and.
Well, he's a shit captain if he's not near fish.
No, that's not true. I mean, you're not near enough fish to be smelling of fish if you're on the deck of a boat.
Maybe.
The people most smelling of fish are chopping off fish heads all day.
That is true.
You guys done? Or?
I'm just saying. It's just a non-RP corollary about who most smells like fish.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fishmongers.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. Now that we've got that out of the way. Hello, sir. I would like to take care of the pirates outside of this bay.
And he's drinking his mug of whatever it is. He kind of spits it out. Well, that would be nice, friend. I tell you what, you take those pirates out. I've many mugs of Tej.
My name is Recto Kildo.
It's ridiculous.
You may have heard of me.
I'm the
Probably
harbor
not.
master Zindar.
We have spoken with Zindar.
How does he know that?
You may have heard of me as the murderer
Yes,
of
he's been looking
priests.
for somebody to get rid of these pirates for a long time.
Yes, Zindar has. He's spoken with us as well, and he has mentioned that he's not willing to help in any way to get rid of his own problems. So here we are trying to help him with his problems. That said, We understand there is a pirate problem here, and we need some type of transportation to get out to said pirates, and are wondering if you can help us or know of somebody who may be able to, if you cannot, or
And
are
some
unable
deep
to.
pockets.
Well, I'm sorry, but my boat is very small. I cannot help you. I just fish within the bay. But that man, a man wearing very I would say it's kind of subdued clothing, but you can tell it's high quality, and it's definitely from the Sword Coast, not local Chulton. He says that man, he has a ship he is looking to trade for some work.
What is that man's name? Are you aware?
Lyric. His name is Lyric.
Everybody has two names. That's
Okay. Well, I thank you for your help. And then I guess I head over towards Mr. Lyric or whatever his name is.
Can we get it? Can we get a text spelling so I don't constantly think of it as Lyric?
Yep.
Can you put it on the map?
Is it a number?
I walk over and I say, "Hello, Lyric. My name is Apple Macintosh, and I would like to take care of the pirates. I, at the request of Zindar, am here to take care of the pirates outside of this bay."
Well, good luck to you.
I'm wondering if you can
got
provide what I am lacking in this matter, and why I am here speaking to you. You very chatty individual, is to find out if there is a way you can get me out to those pirates to take care of them and get them out of here.
He looks at you and sees that you're this half-naked, buff dude. He goes, well, I don't know that I can help you directly, but maybe we can help each other. If you're looking for some work, I've got a ship to trade. His name's Lyric Ashland.
What does that mean, a ship to trade? I don't understand. This is outside of character, by the way.
He has a ship. He would like to trade it for something. Think of a Craigslist ad.
He's gonna give us a ship?
Selling ship. Interesting offers considered.
Okay,
Nothing off the table.
what are we talking about here for your ship?
Get ready to do some things you aren't proud of, Recto.
He leans close and says, Where are you from, friend?
I'm from somewhere else.
A shithole. It's you might have heard of it.
Some
It's kind of a-
shithole.
It's kind of a shithole.
I'm from somewhere else, and it looks like you are as well, from your clothing.
You're obviously not Chulton.
No, that's what I mean by somewhere else.
This is, I've heard there are some folks in the area from Thay, and I have to tell you, I don't think that we could do business if you were part of the expedition from the Red Wizards.
That I assure you I am not. I am from the area of Neverwinter on the Sword Coast.
All right. Well, I'm here on a mission from the Lord's Alliance. I sailed here directly from Waterdeep. And, well, I've tried to complete my mission. I need to locate 2 ruins here in Chult, but I lost a few of my men, and I'm not going to be able to complete that mission. If you could help, my ship is yours.
God, everybody needs help in this fucking
It's like a mission inside a mission inside a mission.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, if anybody's giving away a ship, it's not going to be like, go deliver a letter. It's going to be like, some of you might die. So
what kind of ship we talking here? Is this like a dinghy?
What type of ship is it?
Mast?
That's a great question.
Sir, if we were to
What
complete
are we
this
talking
mission, what kind of resources could you offer us?
Well, I don't plan to sail back. I can't tell you any more than So the ship that I brought here from Waterdeep would be yours. It's a mighty fine vessel. I don't have the crew to crew it, but the ship itself is yours. It's a 6-cannon vessel. It's
How many
sizable enough for you, and I don't know what you need in order to take on these pirates you speak of, but I can tell you we had no problems sailing here from Waterdeep.
Sir, do you know of a merchant or sailor named Dashland?
Yes, I am Larrick Dashland.
He introduced himself to such not 2 minutes ago.
Fair enough. I've been drinking for the better part of about 2.5 hours, sir. I apologize for my lack of listening skills.
So he tells you, look, here's what I need you to map the exact locations of the ruins of Nangalore and Orolunga.
How?
Wait a second. So Steve is not involved in this conversation,
No, he's not.
right? Okay, he's in the background, right? He's unseen yet by either of these parties. So Steve would like to cast as a cantrip disguise self.
Yeah.
On him as just some random person on the street that he saw earlier.
Sure.
Okay. And then
Okay.
approach the
It's gonna look like that.
approach the conversation and say, "Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you needed the locations of Nangalore and Orolunga. It's like, obviously, I couldn't give you the map, but if you had one of your own, I'd be happy to supply you with the locations of those ruins. I myself am a traveled adventurer."
Well, and he turns to Recta and says, "Looks like you're out of luck, pal. Somebody else is getting that ship."
You bastard.
And he
right.
pulls the,
I know when
pulls
I'm
a-
beat, and I walk away.
Best away with you, friend. You'll never be able to beat the likes of.
And he pulls out a piece of parchment and unfolds it. And you can see it's a very rough map of the outline of Chult. You can tell, like, just from mental memory, thinking about what your map of Chult looks like. It's not quite right, and it
Right.
doesn't have anywhere near the level of detail.
Right.
And he basically says, "The closer you can get it, the better. If you can fill that out, we'll head over to the temple, and I'll have one of the clerics augur this to ensure that it's true. And if so, the reward will be great."
It's well, sir, I need to ship very soon, and the lives that it costs me to get to these locations are untold. I don't know if your men will make it back, and I need to know today that I can get a ship. I'll give you these locations right now. There isn't another soul on this island that can do that for you. What are you prepared to offer? Give me that ship. I'll bring it back. But
Fine. You strike a fine deal. Follow me to the temple of. Follow me to the temple on the western side of the city. We'll augur the map, and I'll hand you over the ship.
I don't understand. I've never augured a map. I find my own path through this world. What do you mean by augured map?
So, go ahead and do an arcane check, Steve.
Okay. Phew. I feel like I'm on thin ice, but I do look like somebody else. So, is that Arcana?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's
Arcana.
not great.
I,
This
I punched
part
a
of-
rod.
is part of the reason Steve is weak.
Okay. So Steve, you know enough about magic that basically clerics and some other magical creatures can cast augury, which basically it's almost like divination. It tells you, like, is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Like, are you getting a good deal? Are you getting a bad deal?
All right. Okay. I'll say, we need no auger. This is I guarantee that these are the locations.
Okay. Do persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm gonna roll a luck die.
Okay.
Yes.
Dude, luck coming in clutch.
I'm killing it tonight.
Oh shit! Hold on. I fucked up and I have to reload Roll20 real quick.
Okay. I'm telling you, man. Everyone's just like, no, never take lucky. It's so terrible. It's never been terrible to me.
Pretty sure no one ever said, don't take lucky, it's terrible. It's an amazing feat.
I've been doing a lot of research and looking about the dorkiest corners of the internet, and it's frowned upon.
I have not found that corner. Every corner I found, I said, it's amazing. So
It is amazing. I love it. If I go to those corners now, I'm posting that it's amazing. I'm on that.
you
I'm
should
on
tell
that
those
bandwagon.
corners.
I'm gonna tell.
And then roll persuasion to be sure that you persuade.
I will.
So Lyric,
I
considers
convince
it
the
for a
internet,
moment-
and if I don't, I'll roll a luck die and convince them a second time. Sorry, go ahead.
Well done.
Look, ship's close. We'll just head to the Temple of Savras. It'll only take a few minutes. You'll have your ship tonight if your map is true.
I sigh. I take a second to think about it and be like, all right, well, you know, these diviners, I've had bad experiences. I've been told that things are a bad idea, and that's how I found the locations that I have scouted. That's the only way you get there. Obviously, anything that's a good idea has already been scouted, and they wouldn't have found it. What do you expect to find from these diviners?
Well, I expect to find whether you're trying to rip me off, sir.
Very well. Let's proceed. We're gonna roll the device. We're gonna roll the dice on picking locations on the map. This is telling you guys. I'm gonna pick a couple of general uncharted areas. The temples are sort of near
Do
there.
we have it on our map anywhere?
Alright, so
We've got a bunch of uncharted areas on our map.
I
and
know,
I'm-
but there are some areas, there are some names on the map.
Yeah, no, but I'm not gonna go near those because those are obviously known,
Alright,
right?
so let me make sure I understand. So what you want to do is mark
My intent
random
is
places on his map.
to go with him, pick a
Uh-huh.
couple of places on the map in general uncharted areas, and hope the diviners say, that's a medium idea, and have him give me the ship.
Okay. Okay.
That's my plan. I mean,
Okay.
he doesn't know who I am, right? This
Sure.
is worth a shot in the dark, right?
Sure. Okay. So he hands you the piece of parchment and says, "Make the marks and let's go."
Okay.
I mean, what could go wrong?
I does it matter where I make the marks? Let's just
Here,
assume
here's what we'll do: is it matters. You could get lucky. So
Yeah.
let me go ahead and pull us over to your map of Chult. This is not the one that you're actually marking.
Are you bringing
But-
it up, or should I bring it up on my?
You should be seeing it now.
Still the harbor map.
It's still the harbor map.
Let me reload Roll20. Hold on. I think this is my.
If this works, guys, this is the biggest gambit we've ever done to just win a ship on total bullshit. I'll be so excited.
Okay, so
All right, he's looking for ruins, right?
yeah. So wait, I have to wait for my map to load. It might take a minute.
No, I've got it up.
No, but the DM has to see where you're pointing to.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
and
enough.
I'll do some marks. Okay, so go ahead and ping where you think Nangalore is.
Well, first of all, do I have any background experience about any of these tribes, anything at all from my many warlock studies?
You do not have any knowledge of either of these.
The
So I should
answer
just-
is no.
Has he ever even heard of them before?
Random
You've
names.
never heard of them.
Okay, fair enough.
Nice.
Okay.
Make
So
us
let's
proud.
You
Name
are
your lord.
playing Battleship, sir.
Roll the wheel.
Make us proud, Steve.
Heads.
Okay. Now, do I need to have the locations by name, or can I just pick 2 locations and assume that those are ruins of some kind?
I mean, he's going to expect you to not just say here and here, and you're not sure which of them is which.
Well, they're not exactly labeled in common, are they? I mean, I know that there are ruins of great power in the following locations.
Do a deception check to see if he's going to let you do that.
By that line of reasoning? Okay, that's fair.
And we're all dead.
Yeah,
Last luck die.
no,
I'm rolling it.
Okay.
Yes!
All right. He'll accept just the 2 locations.
Okay. All right. I will roll. Here. You see
Okay.
this? You see the center of that? Yep.
Yep.
And here.
Okay.
I say, these are ruins of great power, and the clerics will undoubtedly confirm it.
Well, I don't need it to be just ruins of great power. I need it to be Nangalore and Oralunga. You'd better be right about this.
They're not exactly speaking common, but every artifact I found in that area confirms these locations.
Okay. All right, so let's go back over to our map of Nyanzaru.
Come on! Random picks!
All right, and
And what are these clerics expected to tell him that he'll have good fortune if he goes there, or bad?
it basically he'll probably ask him something along the lines of, "Is it a good idea to trust this map?"
Trust it for what purpose?
Oh no.
So let me show you how augury works.
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Okay, so
It's
he
just
asks.
good. It's just good, bad, or both good and bad. Or I mean, so unless they both come up bad, I feel like we can pull this off.
Yeah, what are the chances of that happening?
Well,
That's got to be like 2%, right?
fair to middling, I would say.
Like, if
Yeah,
it doesn't work, then
You might as well, hey, somebody start painting that ship. It's ours already. I mean,
If nothing happens, that's not bad, right?
if it doesn't work, we just don't have to go out into
So
dragon
he-
turtle infested waters and try to take down pirates.
So he takes the scroll back from you. He winds it back up, sticks it in his jacket pocket, and says, "All right, let's get to the Temple of Cyrus and see if you've earned a ship."
Oh
he's
wait,
alone, right? Steve is alone here.
yeah. I love the
He's his own guy.
I love the last sentence here. If you cast a spell 2 or more times, which we're going to be doing, there's a cumulative 25% chance for each casting after the first that you get a random reading.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Okay.
alone. We don't know who he is, right?
You don't really know who he is. I mean, you know what name he's given you.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't follow this guy out because we have no idea who he is. So,
No, yeah, us, no.
Yeah, so he asks Steve to follow him.
I follow him.
Okay, and so you guys are basically to tell you where you're going. You're going over here. You see that?
I'm sorry. Could you ping it again? I wasn't scrolled right on my map.
So way over close to Wakonga's.
Oh, okay. That's why it wasn't on my map. One more time?
I have to reload for some reason.
Here,
Yeah, I'm
let
not
me,
seeing any pings over by Wakanga.
Nor am I.
Uh-oh. Hopefully,
Can you see this ping, healers? Yellow?
Yep. Temple of Savras. A new
Yeah.
number! Yes! Mission accomplished.
Worth.
Worth it.
So you guys walk over there. So Recto and Roland, what are you guys doing during this?
I buy Roland a drink.
Drinking.
Okay.
We're all fancy now.
While you're buying drinks, you
And
run
I
into
ask
the,
him, I'm like, hey, where'd Steve go?
You're clean. You're not fancy.
Steve who? Now's the time to run.
Oh,
We can both move pretty quick. I bet you can get away from them.
that's uncalled for. I've done nothing but help.
I don't know. Steve's been nice, you know. It's not like he's assaulted us like other party members we've had.
Fine, I guess I'll just sit and drink and...
Like
So,
you mean?
Like a
So
rod.
you recognize that. So as you guys are drinking, you realize that they're serving you something that you haven't had before. You inquire about it, and you learn it's called Tej, and it's fermented honey.
Oh, gross.
Cheers.
I ask if it travels well.
It's
they say that it does,
fermented
but
honey.
they sell it by 1 gallon caps if you're interested.
How strong is this stuff?
It's about the same as beer or ale.
Okay.
Fermented
Gallon of
honey
beer.
would theoretically actually. Honey doesn't ferment; it never spoils.
It's basically mead. That's what mead is.
It's mead.
Well, then it would almost never spoil.
Here's to Garad and the bounty that somebody's put on his ass.
I'm gonna ask the bartender if he's seen any large orcs kicking down doors lately.
Or wondering about their mechanisms.
The bartender says that they haven't seen any orcs in Port Nyanzaro for quite a long time.
Thanks for the information.
All right. So Steve, you enter into, and it's pretty dark out at this point. So it's getting quite late. There's very few people left in the temple, but your companion here seems to know where he's going, and he kind of just walks to the temple, and he knocks on a closed door, and an older gentleman. Let me see if I can share this with you.
Stay a while and listen.
Nick is so mad he's not here right now. That's his favorite thing to say.
All right, so I don't have can't show him to you, but he's an old man, and he opens the door and definitely recognizes whatever his name is, Dashland.
You merely adopted the dog.
He's like, "Oh, Lyric, what? How can I help?" And Lyric kind of pulls out the map and informs them, and it seems like the old priest has been expecting this and says, "All right." Kind of to the priest's chambers. Do you go in, Steve?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. And so he.
I'm acting the part of a confident
Yeah. I see
purveyor
that.
of my goods. Yes.
All right. And so Lyric hands the map over to the priest, and the priest lays it out and puts stones on each of the four corners of the map to keep it flat on his table, and says, "This will only take but a moment," and starts to gather a few materials to begin the incantation. And so as he's doing that, you lift a dagger and look at you and say, "You better not be ripping me off here, pal."
There's no ripoff, but understand, many people died getting there, and many might die getting there. If he tells you get bad results, that might be the place you're looking for.
hold on, Rector. What's your question here? Why did they?
Oh,
why
no,
did he,
no question. I'm just that's a meta game thing. That's not worth addressing. Don't worry about it.
So they can't get Augury won't tell them where it is. They can basically say whether the person's lying.
No, they can say, per the spell, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's neither good or bad, or if it's basically unknowable.
Yes, yeah, that's
Which
true.
means, basically, he can't prove I'm lying if I'm directing him to a dangerous place. Bad results doesn't mean a bad informant.
What?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how he feels about that.
Well, okay, well, let's just say, it's like,
Let's see what the dice have to say about
an
that.
omen of bad results doesn't mean that's not the location he's looking for. It means his outcome might be bad.
So what he explains to the priest in front of you is he wants to augur for whether he should trust the map that you've drawn.
Oh, okay.
Well, then you're screwed.
No, I'm 3/4 okay.
Well,
Unless it ends up whoa. I feel like I can spin it.
Okay, so the priest kind of takes his materials and casts the augury spell, and you see him close his eyes, and you can see some magical energy come up out of the map and head towards him, and he opens his eyes and kind of looks at you and looks over at Lyric and says, How do you know each other?
We're business associates, I say.
I see. Lyric, can I have a word with you? And kind of motions for Lyric to follow him to the other side of the room, 15, 20 feet away.
Okay, I'll allow that to happen, and can I assume that's on the other side of a door?
It's not on the other side of a door.
Okay. While they're doing that, can I inspect what the escape routes are to my current room?
Yeah. So there is a door very close behind you, and then there are two windows out into the courtyard of the temple on the other side. One of the windows is right next to where the guys are standing. The other is closer to where the augury spell was being cast.
Okay, so as we approached the house and went into the house, I saw the surroundings of the house, I assume, like the buildings nearby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we came up a set of stairs, is that right, to get here? Inside the house?
So you're inside of a temple, not a house.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Right? You guys came, so you're in the merchant's ward, right? So you had to come up stairs over here. Like, you basically had to come right past Wakonga's house to get here.
Okay, so I'm the star, we went past Wakonga's. Okay, I see where we are.
You're elevated up above the rest of the city.
Right. Okay. And how far is it from here to, say, here? From where the star is to, like, there?
So if you look all the way on the right side of the map, you'll see that there is a little bit of a
like a
measuring thing. So that looks like it's around 50 to 100 feet.
Perfect. Okay, proceed.
Okay. So the two guys go over there, and after they finish talking, the priest kind of walks out over to another door that was kind of over there and kind of leaves. And Lyric approaches you and says, "All right, well, sounds like the results were wheel."
Excellent. When can I expect the ship?
I'll take you there now. Follow me to the docks.
Oh, damn.
And I will follow him to the docks.
Okay.
Epic.
Snap.
So,
Wait! No, we don't know. I might be being drawn into assassination attempt right here.
so
So, Steve is not terribly thrilled, but he is cautiously optimistic, but still examining his escape routes everywhere he goes.
So as you guys are walking through the merchant's ward, he says, "So I haven't spent a lot of time here. I see you're a local, though."
Me? I'm not a local anywhere. As I told you, I've adventured everywhere. I consider myself a citizen of the world.
Well, you're dressed like a Chult.
Yeah, the
Oh.
temple, the devotees of the Temple of Suni were quite good to me upon my arrival.
Well, Chultans have a very distinctive look that I don't see much of along the Sword Coast.
If I must explain to you, sir, honestly, you've touched upon a bit of a sore point. My parentage is relatively unknown to me.
My ship's in the warehouse district. It'll only be a little farther.
Where is the warehouse district?
Do you ask him that?
No, I've looked at the map several times, right?
Yeah, but the map doesn't say.
Our map, and I'll tell him then, I wasn't aware the warehouse district was anywhere near the harbor. Is that walled area?
How long have you been in the city?
Honestly, not long. I visited a couple of times, but never by sea.
And how did you make your way into the jungle then?
Well, we landed, but it was an adventure of, let's say, questionable legitimacy. We didn't come in through the normal routes.
What route did you come in?
I believe, although I wasn't the ship's captain, I believe it was the west side of the island.
I see. We're almost there. What did you find in Noralunga?
Danger, sir. Danger and trouble.
What kind of danger? Could you be more specific?
Not without appropriate compensation.
I
I'll
see.
tell you, I've given you the location, and what you find there is yours.
I see.
To
Okay.
deal with and to collect.
I see. Well, we've made it to your ship. Let me introduce you to the crew. And he pulls a whistle out of his vest and blows on it. A few deckhands pop up, including one older gentleman and a gnome or a halfling, somebody short. You can't tell because it's quite dark out. Who come to the bow of the ship, and they call out to him, and he screams out, "We've got a thief!" And that's where we'll end it tonight.
Son of a bitch!
Man, I really thought that would work out well.
It might have. There's a possibility.
I'm gonna leave your marks on the map so that when you guys explore, if you ever do find Orlunga and Nangalore,
You'll find out exactly how far away I was.
it was not particularly close.
Okay, well, I mean, there's a lot of area there. It was a shot in the dark.
So
But,
each one of those hexes, by the way, represents 10 miles.
Ooh,
Nevertheless,
we got
mean-
some exploring to do.
So you were about 100 miles off on one of them, and about 50 miles off on the other.
Hey, that's considering all the possible hexes, that's
not
the
too bad.
worst.
I guess I don't understand, what those guys told him. If he could just, write up a map at, 100 times and bring it to them and be like, "Is this right?" And they'd be like, "No." Is
So
this
it's not
right?
about whether the map is right. It's whether it's
I could
whether
be
it's
trusted.
trustworthy, right? So if they let's say why couldn't they just do it random chance, right? If he just marked on the map a couple times by random himself,
It'd be nothing.
it would always say "whoa"
Gotcha.
because
Because there's
It's-
danger everywhere. Right. It's
Well, it's
always
not-
a bad idea.
it's not danger because it's not about is going to these places good idea or not. It's, is this map, is trusting this map a good idea?
Is it
I
good
get it.
information?
And it would never be, because we'd always be totally randomly guessing.